Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's a couple minutes after 8, so we're going to go ahead and get started. In the interest of full disclosure, I have had kind of a hectic afternoon. So hopefully that I said a little prayer before I started, and hopefully we get through the class just fine. I've got my Stress Away going. I got Gentle Baby in the diffuser, so I had a little oil intervention before I started. So hopefully, like I said, we're going to have a great time. And we are going to focus on Young Living in the kitchen tonight. So for those of you guys who haven't been on a Zoom yet, you should be able to see the slides. If you're not able to, please let me know so that I can make sure it shows me a little bit different than what you're seeing. And I also have notes kind of in front of me. So if you see me looking down a lot, it's because I'm reading my notes. There's so much to go over, and I just don't want to miss anything. So lots to share with you guys tonight. So we will go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'm Kelly Kirstens, and some of you guys might be in my group. You might be in my friend Sherry's group. We kind of teamed up together for the summer to offer you lots of different options for classes, and you can watch these whenever you want. So, or from wherever you need to. That was kind of cool. I watched one today, and that was great just to kind of see how it worked on the other side. So, okay. So we live in an era where foods are high in flavor, but devoid of nutritional value. Think about how things were years ago, what our grandparents ate, the soil, all the sorts of nourishment that they were getting from the food that we're not getting today. In fact, artificial flavors, common in processed foods and derived from petrochemicals, we talk about that frequently in Young Living, those byproducts have been implicated in allergic reactions, dermatitis, eczema, hyperactivity, and asthma. Most of us are looking to eat healthier, but we don't want to skimp on the flavor. I know that's for sure for myself. Herbs and spices in our kitchen cabinet can add a lot of flavor and help promoting properties to foods, but they can lose their potency relatively quickly. I know when my husband and I are trying to eat a little bit healthier, that's one thing that we do is try and season some of our meats and such to get the flavor without the added nasty ingredients. So essential oils are famous for their aroma, so that's what we think about them mostly. But tonight, we're going to focus on their flavor, the delicious flavor, particularly in Young Living's Vitality Essential Oil line. And we'll explain that a little bit more in a little bit. These essential oils can add a pop of flavor and therapeutic value to beverages, including smoothies, teas, salad dressings, marinades, desserts, sauces. It's kind of an endless list there. Herbs and spices have been used in cooking probably as long as man has been on Earth. It's believed that hunter-gatherers would wrap their meat leaves in plants, and then they discovered that some of these plants could be used as natural preservatives. So herbs and spices then became used as early medicines as people began to notice their therapeutic effect. And of course, they were used to purposely flavor food. So that's what we're mostly used for herbs and spices for now. Local cuisines became known for distinctive flavors for their herbs and spices found in their region. Oh, and there we go. Okay, sorry, I was trying to switch the slide there. I want to make sure that was working fine. So today, most American kitchens are stocked with herbs and spices from around the world, which allows us to prepare foods with a wide variety of flavors. Anyone who's ever eaten flavored foods with herbs and spices has actually already ingested essential oils. Did you know that? That's because it's actually the natural essential oil in the herbs and spices that give them any aroma and flavor at all. I learned something new. The essential oils in herbs and spices are also responsible for any therapeutic effect on the body. The main difference between essential oils and herbs and spices that you might buy at the grocery store are the potency and the shelf life. In case of Young Living, the thorough process that it takes some standards to get them, but that's a whole nother topic. Through time, essential oils and herbs and spices evaporated away, rendering the herb or spice bland and impotent. Locally grown herbs and spices are either fresh or freshly dried, are great to use in cooking. We have a lot of really good options here in my area, so we're blessed with that. But herbs and spices from across the world that may be sitting on a shelf for a few years before they even get to your kitchen are not going to be as potent. And I know that there's some spices we don't use very often that get sat in our cupboard, and you go to use it and it maybe just isn't given the flavor that it would when it was fresh. So Young Living Vitality Essential Oils are perfect to use in place of herbs and spices. in the kitchen when a pop of flavor and therapeutic value is desired. And especially when that herb or spice is difficult to source in your local area and it's out of season. So that's one great thing about using the essential oils, is that we can get them all over the world. Don't have to be in season. Each drop of essential oil is loaded with concentrated aroma, flavor, and therapeutic value, and can be a much more economical choice than buying expensive, fresh, or exotic herbs and spices that will go bad if they can't fully be used. Sherry, I'm going to see if I can mute you. See if I can figure it out. Maybe not. Not the way to do that. Oh, I think I can do it here. Mute. Okay, I muted you, so you don't have to worry about the wind. Okay, if you want to talk, just let me know. Don't mean to mute you too much. Let's see, let me go back to where I started. Oh, so the essential oils are very economical as well. Each drop of essential oil is loaded with concentrated aroma, flavor, and therapeutic value, and can be much more economical choice than buying expensive, fresh, or exotic herbs and spices that will go badly before they can fully be used. For example, dill oil costs about 19 cents per drop. You might use 1 to 2 drops at a time of dill vitality oil in a salad dressing or marinade, which costs much less than a bunch of fresh dill that might go bad after a week or so. And another example is lemongrass. Lemongrass vitality costs about 7 cents per drop. You might use 2 or 3 drops in a recipe for Asian curry or soup, and you can store your lemongrass vitality oil for many years as opposed to fresh lemongrass, which is much more expensive, difficult to find, and will probably go bad after a short time. So essential oils are also impart a high frequency to our food. So we talk about that in our classes, that the oils have a frequency to them and they can affect our frequency as well. So adding that to your food and beverage help us experience optimal health and wellness on a day-to-day basis. So have you heard about Young Living's Essential Oil Vitality line? If you haven't, we're going to talk about it more tonight. It came out January 18th is actually when they launched it, and it took months of behind-the-scenes research. This was actually something that when some of the FDA changes happened and things were talked about what we could say and what we couldn't say, I was like, gosh, it would just be great if they made double oils for all the things, and they actually did just that. It just took a while to get everything in place. So after months of work behind the scenes, Young Living announced the Dietary Essential Oil line, which is the Vitality line, and it includes some of the best, most loved dietary essential oils that are now labeled specifically for internal use. So you can tell the little white on the label, those are all the Vitality oils. And I was going to get an example just a second. Good thing my oils are close up here. Okay, so you can see that this is Citrus Fresh, and it's the colored label. So this is a topical aromatic. So now all the colored labels are for topical and aromatic use. And then this is grapefruit, and it's a Vitality, and it is in a white label. So that's how we know that the dietary labels are the white ones. And so anything that's in a white label, we can talk about how it supports the body and using it internally. And anything that's in a colored label, we're going to talk about being topical and aromatic. So it's the same oil, same standards, same ingredients of both of these, but it's the way that they're labeled that makes the difference in what we can say about them and how we can talk about using them. You can use them however you want to in your own house, but this is how we have to talk about explaining it to others, or anytime we introduce this in a class, that kind of thing. So the exciting new line brings with it, like I said, new opportunities to share Young Living essential oils in more ways. So there's 27 Vitality oils, and they have the same high quality essential oil that's in every single bottle. So I was going to see if anybody's purchased them yet. I actually haven't bought any of the Vitality oils, but I have gotten several free of some of the promos, so that was kind of cool. But they're going to be on my next order, and my mother-in-law actually just ordered some frankincense, so kind of cool. So the Vitality line, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So like I said, here's the difference, the color and the white. So kind of gives you a little bit of identification there. So the Vitality Essential Oil line was created specifically so members can draw a clear distinction between topical aromatic use and dietary use. This drastically opens the communication opportunities for our members to share Young Living essential oils. With the launch of this line, we now have more freedom to discuss and share all of the uses for essential oils. There's so many things we can use them for. So now we don't have to feel like we're so limited in what we can say and what we can't. Just got to remember the white Vitality essential oils, internal use, supporting body systems, and the colored are topical and aromatic. So that's how we're going to use them. So the dietary essential oils follow the same uncompromising seed to seal commitment as all of our other oils, all that they always have. Young Living is committed to providing the purest and most potent oils that nature can create, and our clean production processes ensure that every Young Living product is of the highest quality possible. So the Vitality is dietary essential oils, that is a mouthful, are simply labeled differently to distinguish their intended supplemental usage from topical aromatics. So one really cool bonus about the Vitality oils is that now some of the oils that you used to have to buy in 15 ml, for example, peppermint. Peppermint before, you could only buy peppermint once you replaced from your starter kit in 15 ml. But now you can buy a smaller bottle of peppermint, the 5 ml Vitality. So if you just want to try something out or want a smaller version of the bottle, like I said, same standards, same ingredients, labeled for internal use. So it opens up the choices that we have to talk, and it gives us a lot more options of things that we can buy much more affordable. So that's really cool. One of the reasons I was going to share a story with you guys, just checking the time, see where we're at. But when I very first joined Young Living, one of the very first purchases I had after my starter kit was the Golden Touch Kit. And the reason that I got that, at the time, RC and Digize, when I started, were not in the premium starter kit. So those were two oils that I really wanted to try. And RC was out of stock. The only way to get it was through the Golden Touch Kit. That was still in stock. But the Golden Touch Kit had like 7, I want to say, different 5 ml bottles. And I thought, well, this is really cool. I get to try out a bunch of different oils that I didn't have. It had ones that were out of stock. Really wanted to try Digize, really wanted to try RC, and Thieves was in it. Who doesn't need more Thieves? But so that was a really great way for me to get more 5 ml bottles and try it out. So having the 5 ml Vitality gives us lots more options to try some of those things before investing in the big 15 ml. But there's some things like peppermint, I'll probably never buy a 5 ml just because we use so much of it. It's probably my husband's favorite oil, so we use that very, very frequently. So, all right, so let's get cooking. That's what we're talking about tonight, the bulk of our class. So Young Living's Vitality essential oils fall into 4 different categories. They have them divided 4 different categories. They're citrus, herb, spice, and dietary supplement. So we're going to talk about a little bit about each one tonight. Several of the oils, including Thieves, oregano, cinnamon bark, are known to help support immune health. So now with the Vitality oils, internal use, we can talk about the body systems they support. Awesome. Others, such as peppermint, spearmint, and ginger, are beneficial to digestive health. Wow, that's a mouthful. Essential oils such as grapefruit are known also to help maintain a healthy weight. We'll talk a little bit more about grapefruit in depth later. And then all the citrus oils have a gentle cleansing and purifying effect of the body. So we can talk about that again. So as you play around with Young Living essential oils in your kitchen, not only will you have fun as you make new discoveries and how they taste, but you're also contributing to your family's health and happiness in a new fun way. And like I said, that same seed to seal standard is there, so we know the value and the purity of what we're getting. So we're going to start a little bit talking about the oils. Here we go. So a great way to start using the Vitality oils is to simply replace dried herbs, spices, fruit juice, zest, or extract with the corresponding essential oil. I was thinking about this. That's one thing. We buy limes all the time to use for their zest and don't end up using them, end up throwing them away. We have Vitality lime oil, so why don't we just use that? It's upstairs. We just need to probably a drop or two, so I'm definitely going to take that into practice. So the thing when you're using them, though, you need to keep in mind that essential oils have a much stronger flavor than dried herbs and spices. So even though a single teaspoon, I didn't know this, teaspoon is about 60 drops of essential oil. We're dropping from the Orifice reducer in here. But you need a much smaller amount would be sufficient because Young Living essential oils are so potent. So Young Living's advice is to start low and go slow. That's actually really great advice for using all of essential oils, but for all Young Living oils. And then you can add small amounts and gradually increase until you get the flavor just right. So don't want to go overboard. My husband did that with peppermint. At that point in time was regular peppermint and his coffee and had to throw the whole thing out. Now we learned to use the toothpick. So we'll talk about that a little bit. So with recipes that include less than 1 teaspoon of an herb or spice, just dip a toothpick in the oil. So this is obviously a topical aromatic, but we're just going to use the orifice reducer for, so you just stick a toothpick down in the hole and just get a little bit on it and you just swirl it in whatever you're using. Then you go ahead and give it a taste, and then if you need a little bit more, get a new toothpick. Good thing they're inexpensive. And then you just swirl it in and keep going until you know what you need. So some recipes actually call for less than a drop. So like cinnamon bark, clove, ginger, some of those are pretty strong compared to their corresponding spices. So really want to make sure you use the toothpick there. If your recipe calls for juice or zest of a lemon, so for 1 lemon, orange, tangerine, or grapefruit, you can replace it with 10 to 15 drops of the corresponding Vitality oil. And then if it calls for 1 tablespoon of the spices marjoram, oregano, sage, rosemary, thyme, fennel, dill, black pepper, or coriander, so most of those herbs and spices, you can replace it with 1 drop or less. So again, if you're just starting with it, it's maybe not a taste that you want, you're gonna go ahead and use a toothpick. I know Sherry had an incident with, was it basil? What were you putting in your spaghetti sauce? Basil something. I know she got way too much in her spaghetti one time. It was a lot. Okay, so we're gonna start with the citrus oils. So many of them, these come from cold pressing the rind of the citrus fruit. So that's very important to know, especially when people start asking you questions about, does it damage your teeth? Is it really acidic? But we're coming from the rind. We're not coming from the flesh. So our oils such as lemon, lime, grapefruit, tangerine, they have a bright, refreshing flavor. We already know most of that. I actually did not know that bergamot was a citrus oil. Heard it smells really good, but I haven't bought that one yet. So yeah, cold pressed from the vines, and the citrus oils particular, I didn't know this. They're best used within 1 to 2 years of opening the bottle. We go through our citrus oils pretty fast, so that would never be a problem for us, but just something to kind of keep in mind. So the rest of them you can use for a lot longer time, and we'll go over that. So the herb essential oils, they include basil, oregano, rosemary, thyme, peppermint, and lemongrass. It looks like, and spearmint, lavender are also on here. These are great to add to soups, sauces, desserts, beverages. The little thing here says to add peppermint vitality to a peppermint shake. We add it to our chocolate protein. My husband says it tastes like a Girl Scout cookie. We actually have a little thin mint recipe that we make too that we add the peppermint to. That was one of the very first things we started using the oils for in cooking. So, and then we have the spices. So these are pretty easy to identify. Black pepper, cinnamon, ginger, dill, clove, celery seed is a newer one, and carrot seed. Those were not in Vitality when they first came out, and they keep adding more. They just added copaiba, I think, recently as well. So these are great in desserts, beverages, soups, salads, and more. I know some people will put cinnamon in their oatmeal. Sounds pretty good. I also make kind of like a tea where I put the cinnamon Vitality in a tea too, so that's really good. And then the last ones are the supplements. So one place says supplement, some of them say supplement dietary, so kind of the same thing. So the first one is frankincense. We all know and love our frankincense. And then 3 great of the blend. So Digize, Endoflex, and Thieves. So they can be added to water and tea, just like any of the other Vitality oils. And the herbs, spice, and dietary. So all of them except for the citrus. They can generally last for many years as long as they're properly stored. So we want to make sure that it is tightly sealed. We are in a cool, dark place, and not getting into the different temperatures. So like leaving it next to your oven is probably not a good thing where it's going to have that get hot like that. So we're just going to talk about some of the Vitality oils tonight. Like I said, there was 27 when they started. They keep adding more. And there's just so much to use for each one of them. We're going to focus on several. Just kind of want to give you guys an indication of things you can use them for. And at the end, we're going to talk about some other useful things in the kitchen and some resources that Young Living already has for us to get you started. So the first one we're going to talk about is lemongrass. I love the smell of lemongrass. I've never really had actual lemongrass that I know of, but I love lemongrass, the smell. So it not only invigorates senses with its bright lemony scent, but it can support wellness when taken as a dietary supplement. It's a delicate citrus flavor, complements many dishes. So it's used especially in Asian recipes, and it can be incorporated into seasonings for meals of various cuisines. So some suggestions of ways to use it. Obviously, you can put it in a capsule. You can add it to hot tea for a light, interesting flavor. You can also add it to culinary dishes to enhance and brighten flavor. So like I said, it's used in Asian cuisine. So if Asian isn't something that you cook all the time or cook frequently, lemongrass oil is much better to have around than buying actual lemongrass every time you want to make that recipe. So something kind of interesting too is that lemongrass vitality is in DiGize. So you kind of think of the things we use DiGize for. It's also in Essentialzyme 4, which is one thing that I've recently started to use. Essentialzyme 4 is a supplement that helps your body break down the proteins, fats, and sugars that you eat. And then it's also in multigreens too, which I was free a couple months ago, so I started using it, and I've really liked multigreens. So clove is one of the spices, and it's a concentrated distillation of the same distinct spicy cloves that have been used in kitchens for thousands and thousands of years. It's perfect for adding flavor to both sweet and savory dishes. And it includes naturally occurring constituent eugenol. So whenever Young Living tells us a little bit about the chemistry, we want to go ahead and research that. So we can't exactly go into all the chemistry of it or all of the research, but that's, we're going to talk about several different of the chemistry things tonight, and want to go ahead and write that down. Eugenol is something for clove oil you might want to look at. It's beloved for its use as a dietary supplement. When taken as a supplement, clove essential oil promotes a healthy immune response, supports overall wellness, and it is in Thieves Vitality, Immune Power, Inner Defense, and Longevity. So we all kind of know what some of those are for. Thieves, obviously great for the immune system. Clove's one of those constituents. So some suggestions: you could obviously substitute it for clove in recipes, add it to some molasses cookies, to spice cake. You can put it in a homemade cider. That would be pretty good, especially in the fall coming up. And oatmeal was another one of the suggestions. Add it to your oatmeal. So I haven't done that yet, but one really good thing about oatmeal, if you get oatmeal yourself and then add the flavors to it, you're going to get a lot less sugar, a lot less processed ingredients. So that's a great thing to do. So basil has a sweet, warm scent and flavor. This herb is found in a variety of dishes. It's popular in Asian and European cooking. It's easy to add well-loved seasonings to wherever you like to use basil normally. You'll get a brighter flavor than dried herbs without the hassle of the fresh herbs. So we don't have to grow the herbs ourselves. We don't have to go to the store and buy them. I think we've covered that. So it pairs well with savory foods, but you can also add it sweet, slightly peppery flavor to any meal. So some of the suggestions are to try it with sauces, bread, soups, chicken, and seafood. And then there's also a recipe for basil lemonade with strawberries. Kind of an interesting combination there. So this was one Young Living tip had, was that you could upgrade your tomato sauce with the basil. And then you can actually also use rosemary and oregano. Those would be a good mix with that. Another example of ways to use it, I thought this was kind of cool. Boil pasta noodles in basil infused water for a subtle flavor. So you don't actually have to add it to the sauce. You can just add it straight to the water when you're boiling. Just kind of give it that. Another thing was pair with lime juice and melons. I'm not exactly sure what I think about that, so you guys might have to try it and let me know. Also to use with feta. And good to mix with a mild tea such as chamomile. So I haven't ever really used basil for those types of things, but like I said, if somebody wants to use them, let me know. Please do. Dill. Dill is one of my favorite things. My husband and I have a dill dip that we make frequently. We take it to tailgating. We make it to go with burgers. Have it just as a dip with vegetables or crackers or what have you. It's great for traveling and just a great way to get some extra flavor without having a lot of other condiments. So we will definitely be using Dill Vitality. It provides a fresh, pungent flavor to replace fresh or dried dill, obviously. Pairs beautifully with carrot seed vitality and lemon vitality. as a flavorful ingredient in soups and stews. So it's a key flavor in Russian, European, Mediterranean, Asian, and Scandinavian dishes. It's a great way to lend a flavor to a wide variety of cuisines. So a couple of the suggestions would be to use it as a marinade for fish along with olive oil. So they do have a lot of like salmon. They put dill on salmon a lot. I like salmon. And then use it as your favorite game day dip. That's actually how my husband and I use it most of the time. So, all right, I got to get a sip of water just a second. I thought this was a really good tip, and it looked really yummy. I shouldn't probably be doing this presentation hungry. But for rosemary, to mix a couple drops of herb essential oil with olive oil to have dip in your bread or whatever you would use there. So rosemary is celebrated in the culinary world, especially in Italian dishes. It lends a unique herbaceous taste to every dish it's featured in, making it perfect for savory recipes. As a dietary supplement, rosemary vitality is loved for its naturally occurring constituents. So here we go again, write these down. Eucalyptol and alpha-pinene. So if you are a green personality and you want to research, want to get all the information, those would be things I would look for you to look up. Happens to be an important ingredient in bees, energy, which is interesting, and Juvaflex, as well as Essentialzyme 4 and Inner Defense. So kind of think of some of those things we use those for. So some other ways we could use it in marinades, salad dressings. You can make a bread dip, like I said. Use it in pastas, recipes, all that kind of thing. So this was a marinade recipe that Young Living had on one of the blogs using oregano, lemon, black pepper, olive oil, soy sauce, which we would actually use. Liquid aminos is a good substitution for soy sauce. That's better for you, in my experience. In my opinion, I guess I should say. Some red wine vinegar and some garlic. So we'll have to try that sometime. I do like to marinate. I just don't usually take the time to do it. But a lot easier if you don't have to chop up all of the herbs. Just put in a drop or two of your vitality oil. So Citrus Fresh. Citrus Fresh is one of my favorite oils. It was one that one of the first things I ordered after my starter kit for oils. And it grew on me. I really like it. A little bit different. Got a little kick to it. So it's a combination of orange, grapefruit, mandarin, tangerine, and lemon. And it has a little bit of spearmint in there. So that's where the fresh comes from, the little minty. So the constituents of that contains limonene, beta-pinene, and linalool. Hopefully I said that right. So those are all naturally occurring in Citrus Fresh. It's invigorating and pleasant blend. It's ideal to add to water, fruit, or vegetable juices, and nincturette. Good to add in nincturette. I do like it with that. So a couple of suggestions that you could add it to your juice. Good to just add to your water when you want a little citrus, but you also want that minty as well. So that's a great combination there. And we got another this has some of the citrus things. This is a vinaigrette to use with citrus. So you could put this on your salad or just all sorts of things you could make with that. So that's a great recipe as well. Lemon. Who doesn't love lemon? Lemon, I love lemon. And it's really cheap, so that's really cool too. You can use a lot of it. So lemon vitality can add a bright, dynamic flavor to many dishes. It's versatile and sweet and savory recipes, and it makes this fruit a popular item in kitchens around the world. And it just has a fresh smell. Love lemon for that. So you can add it to savory foods like fish and chicken, or sweet foods like pastries and cakes. It's great to just keep on hand for anything. So like this suggestion here is just to perk up your yogurt. We like to put it in a little bit of cream cheese or heavy whipping cream just to make a little fluff. We just call it fluff in our house. But lemon is just a great way. The lemon vitality, you don't have to zest. When my husband and I got married, we made a recipe once. I had to teach him how to zest. So he'd probably be glad to never have to use a zester again. So we'll just use lemon vitality. So a couple other suggestions. You can put it in baked goods, preserves, the vanilla yogurt. Like I said, on the chicken, shrimp, pasta, anything like that. I like to put lemon and dill on my salmon, so you could probably use those vitality together for that purpose. So I thought this was a really great recipe I found online for orange pineapple pops. Just has vanilla yogurt, crushed pineapple, and orange vitality. And then you place it in the molds. So that it looks really good as the weather here in Iowa starts to get a little bit warmer. It definitely looks refreshing and inviting. So orange has a clean, refreshing scent and flavor. It contains limonene as well. So a lot of the citrus have that limonene. It's in products such as Nature Red, our Young Living's proprietary wellness supplement, Immu Pro. It's also in that. So you can use it to just add a little citrus flavor to your dishes. I love orange Vitality specifically. I like orange, the regular oil, topical aromatic. If you're trying to diffuse something or use something topically that you don't like the smell of, orange can pretty much mask anything. The same with the Vitality. If you're gonna be ingesting something, drinking something in your water, anything like that, you can add a little bit of orange to take some of the bad taste, bad smell out of there. So one great thing, and orange is pretty cheap, so that's great too. Combines well with other fruity flavors, combines good with ginger as well. Great to add to smoothies and Nature Red. So some other suggestions aren't really as enticing as this popsicle. I should have made one to try. It'd probably melt by the time I got done though. So grapefruit. Grapefruit is one of our favorite things. We got it free 1 month and my husband went through the bottle in like a week, adding it to his water. So that was great. So it's known for its invigorating citrus scent and delicious tart taste. It can support weight management programs. So we'll talk about that a little bit on the next slide. But when you pair that with a healthy diet and exercise, it's a great weight management program together. Adds a little bit of zing to your citrus or any culinary recipes. You can add it to your Nature Red. That's good. And it is one of the ingredients of Sleek Essence. And I have some of that downstairs. I really like the Sleek Essence a lot. But grapefruit's one of the main ingredients. So here we go again. Grapefruit has the limonene. So another thing to research if that's your thing. If not, just know it's scientific and it's really good for you. So some of the suggestions are just to add a couple drops to a dietary capsule. And I'll grab the capsules for you guys later to show you those. But yeah, it is in the Sleek products, Sleek Essence. So just a really great thing to have around. Grapefruit. Jade Lemon. Jade Lemon is probably my favorite citrus oil. And the Jade Lemon Vitality, I was glad. I don't think that they had this one at first when they came out with the Vitality oils, but they've since added it. It's kind of a lemony lime together. It just doesn't have it's just more cool and refreshing, I think, than either one of those by themselves. So I really like Jade Lemon. It's another one that we got free one time. It's a lemon. I think it comes from somewhere in Japan. It's just a different type of lemon. So some of the oils we might have like Idaho balsam fir as opposed to a different fir in the different areas of the location where the farms are. They pick up different things. The soil is different. The sun is different. So there's just different flavors, maybe a different scent. So Jade Lemon Vitality is just that. It's just a different type of lemon. So it can liven up any recipe that can benefit from a citrus kick of character. So I really like Jade Lemon here. They are putting it in Nature Red. I'm not sure what's in the background, if that's like a lemonade or something like that. But last but not least, I guess this isn't last, but one of our last ones is peppermint. Peppermint is one of our favorite oils here. It's one of my favorite oils to share because it's so potent that people you smell the peppermint and it's just inviting. I even have friends that really don't like essential oils. They say they don't like essential oils. They stink, but they love peppermint. One of my coworkers actually asked me to bring peppermint in a diffuser, and she is one that before said peppermint gave her a headache. So that was a win-win for me. And everybody in my office who liked peppermint. But Peppermint Vitality, again, is kind of one of the examples I gave that comes in a 5 ml. So if you just want to replace the little one from your starter kit, you just want some Peppermint Vitality, you can just get a 5 ml. You don't have to spend, I think it's like $20 for the 15 ml. So it is very, very versatile, well-loved flavor. That's absolutely true. It's great to start your day or to end a meal. So either one. Peppermint is a dietary supplement, may support exercise performance and help you have a great workout. Because of its great taste, it's easy to add this versatile oil to tea or experiment with it in your baking. I love peppermint and, like I said, the Girl Scout Thin Mints that my husband makes. Yummy. So one of the recipes, and I mentioned before that we really like to use it in our chocolate protein shakes. So this is a graphic that Young Living came out with shortly after I joined Young Living. And I took a picture of this, and I refer to this all the time. So the very first time my husband was making the Thin Mints, we wanted to figure out how much peppermint to use. And as you can see, it's kind of up there in the upper right-hand corner. It's kind of small, but I wrote these all out for you. So you substitute 1/8 of a teaspoon of Young Living peppermint oil for peppermint extract, and then you add more drops until you think the flavor is right. So actually, Young Living peppermint is about 4 times as concentrated as typical peppermint extract. So that's why, but we're actually going in 1/8, 1 to 8, and then we're going to work our way up. So we don't want to overpower it with peppermint. People might get a little bit too much digestive support. So we're just, like I said, going to start slow and work our way up. Did you know that peppermint extract, or most of the extracts, they're actually alcohol, and then they're just flavored with a little bit of whatever, peppermint, almond, that kind of thing. So you're mostly getting alcohol. So wouldn't you rather just have pure essential oil? And you already have peppermint sitting around. You have it from your starter kit. You have it in those little packets. So it's really, really easy to use. So the other really cool thing about this graphic, it takes 1 pound of peppermint to make 1 bottle of Young Living peppermint oil. So that was kind of crazy. All right, so this is a recipe that Young Living just posted not too long ago. Guilt-free peppermint brownies. It is from the Young Living blog. We're going to talk about that later. But it is, they're black bean brownies. And we used to get black bean brownies from a vegan cafe here in town, and they are amazing. But they have sugar in them. So they are made with wheat flour and lots of other good ingredients. But, oh, no, I think they have agave, which, yeah, I think they have agave. But this recipe just had a little bit of maple syrup and black beans. I made it last week. It was pretty good. And I will say that it was better once it sat a little bit. So give that a try. And then lavender. So lavender is one that not a lot of people think about using as a vitality oil. The farm, I'm actually going to a convention this year, and the farm, they have lavender lemonade, and you can actually buy it. They have a, I saw a thing that Monique McLean did. She was doing a Periscope or Facebook Live, one of the two, at the farm, and they had lavender lemonade slushies and Ningxia slushies that you could just buy like a Slurpee, like at Quick Trip or whatever. So I'm super excited about that. So just some of the things you can use lavender for, the lavender lemonade, ice cream. There's a recipe, one of our upline leaders, Evangeline, who, if you know Sonia, it's actually Sonia's sister. She's in one of our upline diamonds. She makes cookies, sugar cookies with lavender, which would be really interesting. Lavender is one to use the toothpick with. If it's a little bit overwhelming, like I said, I'm not really sure I really like lavender in my lemonade, so I would really start slow and work my way up. And then, funny enough, I was looking for a recipe for the lavender lemonade and just couldn't find a great one. And I had made this presentation, and then just yesterday, Young Living posted this on their blog of the honey lavender lemonade. So I'm gonna have to give that a try. So we're gonna, we got about 20 minutes left. I wanna focus on some of the products that Young Living has. And this is one of the things I know in my team this month, we're doing a promotion for the rest of the summer on Essential Rewards. And some people might think, gosh, I just cannot spend $50, 50 PV a month on oils. But Young Living just has so many other products for you to choose from. And did you know you can get that in food? You know, you're already spending $50 a month anyway. Why not try out some of Young Living's great products? They're healthy for you. You get PV, you get full points. I don't have to sell you on ER. It's amazing, but I just kind of want to highlight some of these things that Young Living has offered for us that a lot of people don't even know about. Young Living is just so much more than oils. It can support your wellness in all different ways. So einkorn. So there's actually several different einkorn products. And einkorn is actually the staff of life grain. It's known to be the oldest variety of wheat. It dates back to the beginning of time. So its natural genetic code and low gluten levels make it superior choice because of the compatibility with the human body when compared to modern hybrid wheat of today. So there's actually a little bit of research. There's different chromosomes in the einkorn wheat than there is now, just because there's so much that's been modified to it. It's low gluten. It's not gluten-free, this particular one. But a lot of people who not necessarily have a celiac diagnosis but just don't do well with gluten can do really well. My husband and I have tried all of the Einkorn products, and we actually don't eat much grain at all, if at all. And if I do happen to go to a restaurant, have a roll or something like that, I feel full and sick to my stomach. I'm just not used to that grain anymore, but we don't have any trouble with the Einkorn. In fact, we love the pancakes. The spaghetti is great. We were using a sprouted grain spaghetti before, and the Einkorn's really great. And another thing, they changed when the Einkorn first came out. It wasn't equal PV with the price, and now it is, so you can redeem your ER points on it. And the Einkorn spaghetti is only 5 PV. It's only $5. So, you know, you get a couple of vitality oils, you get the spaghetti, you can make your family a meal. How else, you know, like I said, there's really just a lot more than oils, but we really like the spaghetti too. And this last month, I was really close to getting another promotion, and I was like, oh, what can I add on here that's only, usually I get a lip balm, but I needed 5, not 4.5, and I thought, oh my gosh, the spaghetti. So that was just perfect. So a couple other things about Einkorn. It's higher in fiber, phosphorus, potassium, and vitamin B6 compared to regular wheat. It has 2 times more vitamin A, 4 times more beta-carotene and lutein, and 5 times more riboflavin. So it's just much more nutrient dense. So if you're eating that stuff, you're actually getting better nutrients. So that's really cool. The pancake and waffle mix, you can use it for all sorts of other things. You can actually use it for all-purpose wheat flour as well. And there's a small cookbook when you order the Einkorn flour. You get, they're downstairs. I don't think I have enough time. We'll see if we have time at the end to run downstairs and get them. But you get a small little cookbook with maybe like 6 or 7 recipes, and then there's recipes on the actual box. That gives you a good starting point of some things you can make with it. But Young Living also came out. We're going to skip ahead a couple. In the if you haven't already seen the spring catalog, we're going to highlight some of the items there. But there is a pack where you get the Einkorn flour and the a cookbook from Young Living, and it is exhaustive. Like it is. There's so many recipes for beverages, for dips, for marinades, for desserts, main dishes, all sorts of things. And it's not just the Einkorn, it's how to use some of the vitality oils. So I just got that last month, and we've already started using some of the things. I made pretzels with cheese sauce, and then I also made something else. I don't remember what it was, but everything that I've made has been good so far. Okay, so we're going to go back here because they also came out with gluten-free pancake and waffle mix. So that's pretty cool. And it is actually made out of gluten-free oat flour, arrowroot flour, garbanzo bean flour, sorghum flour, and amaranth flour. So it's gluten-free. It's about half the size of the big pancake mix. So again, I think it's like 8 PV. If you're just adding something on to hit another promos, Young Living has great promos for us at $190, normally $190, $250, and $300. Last month was kind of an exception. But, you know, something else you can just add just to try out. And then another tip is to add lemon or orange or really any of the citrus you could add into those pancakes. I think even maybe like cinnamon would be good. Some of those things into the pancakes. So you could even maybe put some of the savory flavors in there, like, I don't know, like basil or something if you wanted to not have it like a sweet pancake, but wanted to use it with a savory dish or something. That'd be kind of good. So you actually do save quite a bit of money if you buy the combo of the cookbook and the flour. So we didn't need any flour, but I just went ahead and bought the combo together because it was a pretty good deal. So that's great. Zing came out last year at convention. I was super excited for it. So just another thing to add to your kitchen. It's just a great alternative to energy drinks or carbonated beverages. Has wolfberry puree, has black pepper and lime essential oil. And then with your Zing, you're actually supposed to tip it upside down and then come back up. It kind of gets everything just kind of mixed around in there, right? And Young Living just thinks of everything. And the can is actually BPA free, so you don't have to worry about the can having any bad things on the inside like some do. So I love Zing. My husband and I like to mix Ningxia, Nitro, and Zing. And we affectionately call it a boomer now because my husband just said it's like, he started calling it Ningxia, Nitro, Zing, Boob. And then now we just call it a boomer. So we really like Ningxia Zing. And of course, Ningxia Red. Who doesn't love Ningxia Red? I admittedly like to tell the story how I had 4 packs of Ningxia Red in 2 different starter packs. and didn't try them for 9 months until somebody wanted to try, one of my downline members wanted to try it one day. And now my husband and I both drink Ningxia Red every day. Just a great whole body nutrient infusion, very high in antioxidants, very high in support for our entire body. There's a really cool slide, I didn't have time to put in here, but just shows all the body systems that Ningxia Red supports. So one of the other things that you can get, you can actually buy the wolfberries. This is a little set they had for Christmas. I don't think it's available anymore, but you can buy just the organic dried wolfberries, and they are great just to throw in a little snack mix, trail mix, just to have for a good snack on the go. So they have wolfberry. It's a kind of another name for goji berry, I'm told. It's from the Ningxia province, and we are actually the only ones with rights to get things exported out of that area. And you can add it to stir-fried baked goods, put it in yogurt. You could even put it in your waffles. And there is actually, I didn't add this in there, but there is actually a Ningxia syrup that you can buy as well, Ningxia Red syrup. So I haven't tried that yet, but I'm definitely on my ever long wish list. This is something that came out, the Ningxia Red Ice Pops in the spring catalog. You can actually buy a combination. I think you get Ningxia Red, 1 bottle, and then you get the little molds for the popsicles. So speaking of popsicles, there are tons of popsicle recipes on the Young Living blog. So if you haven't looked at the Young Living blog, it's just youngliving.com/blog. And these are all the different things they have there. I encourage you to go there. You can sign up. So every time they put a new post, you will get an email. I signed up for day of post, and then up in the little right-hand corner, you see the little search thing. You can just search, like I searched for lemonade, and it just gave me all the recipes. So there's tons of really good recipes there. I found these there, pineapple ginger lemonade popsicles and strawberry lemon lime popsicles. So those were great. Another recipe that's there is the Greek yogurt. I think there's recipe for a dill veggie dip, yogurt-filled einkorn crepes, and Greek yogurt coleslaw. So those are free. They're right there for you. So just go ahead and check it out. And again, the spring catalog, one of the things they came out with that's really cool is the culinary collection. So it just has a bunch of the different vitality oils, has a little stand that you can set it up with. It has 5 ml of thyme, basil, rosemary, oregano, black pepper, cinnamon bark, peppermint, ginger, lemon, and lime. So this would just be a great way. I know in our kitchen we have bottles all over the place. So this would be a great way to kind of display them and have them easy for you to use. All right, so you couldn't talk about the kitchen without our loved Thieves Cleaner. If you have not tried Thieves Cleaner, it's probably one of the things I recommend right after the starter kit. In those bottles, they are concentrated, so the small one you can get like 32 uses out of. It is non-toxic. Lasts forever, smells great, actually makes you want to clean because it doesn't, you're not like getting a headache from all the toxic fumes. But these household cleaner, and then last year, this is the set that they have that's really cute in the spring catalog. Sorry, my nose keeps itching. Somebody must be talking about me. The Thieves household cleaner, and you can get that really cute Young Living bottle, and you also get a bottle of, looks like Citrus Fresh in that combination, so that's kind of cool. And last year they came out with Thieves dish soap. It was huge on my wish list. They came out with like the 2 things I really wanted last year, which was the dish soap and the laundry detergent. The only thing I want this year is for the dishwasher. I've tried using the Thieves dish soap. I need to play with that a little bit more, but it'd be great if they just had some little tabs. That way you don't have to worry about how much you're putting in or how much your husband is putting in or your kids. For that matter. But the Thieves dish set is super cute in the spring catalog, and you get a Thieves dish soap with the 3 little towels. So how cute is that? Alrighty, so that is all we have to go over tonight. I think we did good on time. We got a little bit of time left. So want to highlight, I'm going to click out of here a second, the classes that we have coming up. So let me see if I can open up my email. Of course, I don't have it there. Let me pull it up on my phone here. So Sherry and I, like I said, are teaming up for the rest of the summer. We're going to be offering various different classes on lots of different topics. And next week on the 8th, I believe, I just want to get this right. I don't want to tell you guys wrong. My husband is going to be doing a class on, can't find my own email here. My husband is going to be doing a class on oils for dudes. So we wanted to make sure that that is there so you guys can have some great things to buy for Father's Day. So wanted to make sure we had it in time for you to put in those orders. Go ahead and just kind of get some other things. The oils kind of frequently are kind of a girl thing. The boys end up using them eventually when something really works. I know my husband loves them now. He probably uses more oils than I do. I probably use more oil-infused products. He probably uses more oils. But anyway, so that's going to be on the 8th. On the 14th, Summer Fun and Sun. So we're going to focus on some great recipes, some DIY things that you can do, and just some of the oils that you might, and products you might really want to be using in the summer. On the 15th, Sherry is going to do, I am going to do a business class. So if you've been thinking about, just want to learn a little bit more about the Young Living business, what does this even mean? Is there a time commitment? Are you kind of roped into doing anything? The answer is no to all of those. It's whatever you want to put in. But we're going to go over that a little bit more in depth. If you've been getting some thank you checks from Young Living, we're going to learn a little bit more about how that happens. And if you want to do it as a business, it's always there as an opportunity for you. So just great to know that it's there in case it's ever something you want to do. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then Sherry's going to do a basics class on the 21st. So if you haven't already been to a basics class, that's a great place to start. If you need a refresher, that's also great. And you can send the Zoom link out to any friends, family, anything like that that are interested in essentials and you just don't really know what to tell them, but they can learn a lot about the starter kit that way. And then on the 19th, I think this is backwards. On the 19th, we're going to do family survival kit. And then on the kind of like just a kit, different things you might need in your family. And then on the 27th, yep, this is backwards on the list I set out. Oops. It is going to be a recap of convention. I'm going to talk about all the things that happened at convention and all the new products. We'll get to talk about them. So all the new announcements. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask Sherry or myself. Post in the Facebook groups and let us know. And thank you for joining us. And we hope to see you more this summer for more Zooming. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great night.